follows, but we're trying to get there. What's going on? Come on, Lowe's, come on. Oh, there you go.
It's your connection.
There you go.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday, happy Monday. Hold on, let's bring us in on something.
We got a little music for today. Ali.
We got a special guest for y'all today.
Special guest. Hey,
it's gonna be a good one.
He brings it like this.
Wait till he come in.
We're gonna actually make him sing though.
You gonna make him sing that?
I'm gonna make him sing
You're
that.
gonna make him sing that.
Absolutely.
You gotta sing that?
We're gonna make him say something. He got to introduce himself singing a song.
You gotta do something.
He got to do a little something. Something's gonna happen now.
How's everybody's Monday? We're back at it, guys. We got a new setup. I can't see this far.
You can't see?
Not really.
I can't be pulling double duty. I'm not on this side though. It's a little okay. Yeah. What's up, guys? So we're here, another edition of Tackling Life TV, and it's crazy. I mean, we're here at Hyperion. This is our place to be now. Oh, give me my
What's on, brother?
Oh, there it is. My Kool-Aid's here now.
As you see, it's a good Monday. Got my suit and blazer on today.
You are suited up.
We're gonna talk about that.
We'll talk about that in a minute. We got a little suit on with a little chain thing going on right now, so we'll talk about that a little bit. But no, guys, we kind of wanted to recap last show and introduce you guys to this another episode of Tackling Life TV. And last week, we talked about wants and needs for men and women, right? We talked about that a little bit last week, and I think we discussed this morning that we weren't very thorough enough with it, and we want to tackle some of those topics again soon, and we'll talk about a little bit.
I think on those topics it's so expansive that even an hour isn't enough. We try to cover 3 things, so next time we're gonna focus more
just
on
narrow it
one
down.
thing and just lock in and just have a conversation. Because as soon as it got good, we had to stick to our script.
Stick to the script, yeah.
But it's good. We're gonna be more conscious of that.
So we'll talk about that more. Yeah.
How was your weekend, man? Let's
The weekend recap. What did I do? Saturday I watched a little of the World Cup. I'm not like a big World Cup. Was that Saturday or Sunday? Sunday I watched a little bit of the World Cup.
Yeah,
that was yesterday. You came by.
Yeah. Here, we were here.
I must have had one too many drinks. But yeah, we did that, and we had fun there. I had a friend come by. You came by. We kicked it for a minute, and it was good. That's all about your weekend, though. My weekend was just okay. I stayed at the house and chilled. But your weekend, though, what did you do?
Mama would be proud.
Mama would be proud.
Mama would be proud. I did Hollywood Carnival for the very first time this weekend. As you can see, the tattoos up here, the art done by my lady. They're all over.
And that's the thing. So this is what he tried to do. He tried to distract you guys from the fact that he's all painted up like the Ultimate Warrior. He tried to put on the jacket to hide it.
More like Xerxes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's somebody too I look like. Xerxes. It's kind of funny.
I got that though. I got what.
But it was an amazing experience. To be walking in a parade, to see people so full of just in love with their culture and being free, and it's just people just dancing in the middle of the street, being open, and it kind of made me look at how growing up here in America, we're very limited when it comes to how we view sexuality, being free,
right,
and just being, right. Every country or culture had this thing, but we can all learn and take different parts from other countries. So I had to take a check on myself a little, but it was good.
But you had a good time.
Had an amazing time.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this 3 months ago.
Right. The fact you had fun is a big thing. That's a good step. A step towards what we're trying to get accomplished on this show. Men should be able to go out in any situation, have fun, be able to be adaptable, adapt to certain things that we're not used to. So that was a good thing. That's a good step.
Just being open to
I'm proud of you, brother.
And change. I appreciate it. Yeah. Next time I invited you. What about I invited you?
Yeah, I was at home watching The Conjuring 2 for the 19th time because I was that's me.
You don't want to be open with your brother, your co-host, huh?
All right, I'll take that. That's on.
So, you got a special guest today. What's today about? What's the subject matter today? What are we talking about?
The topic today is, and I know we do a lot of different things. We involve the women a lot, and we involve everybody come in and have their opinions. But today we want to have guy talk. We want to have guy talk today because we want to have this open dialogue with other guys and other brothers in general, but we also want the women to come in and be a part of this situation as well and see why we think the way we think, because we're not normal.
So we're going to share a couple things that we don't really tell other people outside of our circles, and things that men actually go through what we will never admit because we get caught up in this, man, macho want to appear a certain type of way, but everybody goes through it. The best of the best go through it. And we have the perfect person today to bring this in. So you want to do the honors? I met Angelo through you, so I think it's only right that.
All right. So our guest of the honor, our guest today. Funny, I met him through his lovely wife, who's an actress and superstar, Leah Remini. I met him through her, and we kind of ran into each other in those worlds. But then I met him again. He owns my favorite restaurant also in the valley, called Vivian's.
Vivian's got
great breakfast spots. If you guys are around, go check it out. The best. I go all the time.
So I figured we plug him because he never does his own
stuff.
He never
plug. We're gonna plug him now. But now we're gonna introduce my friend, Carlos's friend, and he's a salsa king as well. He's a great singer.
Salsa
my
guy.
Man, Angelo Pagan. Come on in, Angelo. See you, baby.
Hello. Now,
come on now.
You done messed it all up already. Y'all messed it up already. Because you talk about a special guest, then you throw Mark Anthony's song on, so everybody's like, yes, Mark Anthony's gonna be there. And then I show up.
You're better. You're better.
No, that's my boy. There's nobody better than Mark, but I appreciate the sentiment.
Ladies, this. How old do you think this guy is? I want to hear all of your answers.
Lord,
we're going to tell you at the end of the show.
They're going to be like,
how old do you think this guy is?
They're going to make me feel bad. They're going to be like, he's 175.
Nah, There's no way.
There's no way. If they do that, you can't watch that.
Anyway, just take into consideration, I have sons that are probably their age.
Don't give them any hints.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so what's going on, man? How's your morning? How's everything going?
Oh, good Lord. My morning's about to get better.
Cheers.
Look at this.
I'll come in with y'all later.
Come on, man.
I got to be the responsible one right now.
So fill in the audience, the people that don't know you, but tell them a little bit about yourself and your background and why you're Angelo now.
Well, New York Rican, born in the Bronx, all my roots in Puerto Rico. We'll be going home soon. Raised in New York, came out to California, to, as we all do, to pursue a career in entertainment. And I've had my successes and my downfall.
That's LA.
It's all good. It's all good. It's the journey.
It's a journey.
That's really what it's all about. So, opened up Vivian's about 20 years ago. That was sort of my backup plan. Thank God I did that.
And it worked. That works.
Yeah. And I'm still doing my thing. I used to be a little bit of a recording artist. And I got the bug again.
Yep.
So next thing you know, I put the band back together. We're playing at a place called Sofitel, which you guys, Riviera 31. The name of the band is called Son Candela.
Son Candela.
And we tear it up every Wednesday night at Riviera 31. Oh, you guys are always there.
We come check it out. We're
band member.
You got to come out and see these guys dance. But at the end of the night, this guy jumps on stage with me and starts singing.
Don't tell everybody about my
We're gonna post a clip later.
Yeah.
We're gonna post it.
You don't know what he's saying, but he's singing his butt out. He's singing his heart out, boy. You can't. It's actually genius. I love it.
It's the epic that counts, man. So I love it. This today's topic is man talk, guy talk.
Yeah.
So we're gonna touch on some things that we don't really share outside of
our circle.
This circle.
Yeah.
Good Lord, man talk.
So
this, to your point, you guys were talking about, manly man and all that other stuff, and a lot of people don't realize that actually goes back historically when we were cave people. The guy who killed the most, and that was the one with all the power. So it sort of got ingrained into our DNA, right?
Yeah.
But now that we are of higher intelligence, hopefully we can combat that with a little bit of logical thinking. And it doesn't happen for a lot of people, let me tell you, because there are individuals out there that still will want to revert back to that caveman mentality, which just doesn't work.
No.
And I can imagine me trying to pull that stuff at home with the woman that I've been married to
Yeah.
and living with for the last 22 years,
That would not go.
boy, she'd be kicking my butt to the curb in 2 seconds. But more importantly, I have a daughter that's 14, and I can't be showing her that.
Yeah.
If I live that way, if I demonstrate my manhood in that fashion, then she's going to be seeking an individual to take control of her.
Right.
And we don't want that.
Right.
I want my young daughter and all women to be, self-motivated, powerful. Actually, I think women should actually be running the country.
So
we'd be in a lot less trouble.
So y'all don't know his age yet, but there's an age gap between us, right? So being raised when you were coming up and being raised is a very different thing. Like there was programming that was coming from your parents and how you were taught to do. And I'm pretty sure as you were going through it, you were like, what am I doing? You were trying to figure out. So you're raising a kid in this area now. How was that change or transition? Or when did something click and you're like, you know what? I can't do this and I can't do it. Because there's some people who are 40, 45, 50 who never figure it out.
When was that aha moment for you?
When did that happen for you?
A lot of it happened when I met, my significant other.
Did you know?
But I had no idea because I was just chasing, as we all
keep it real today,
right? Yeah. So, and men will do anything if they like what's in front of them. Right? We will. Anyway.
Yeah.
So she sort of challenged me, and that's when it really started to resonate. And it wasn't just all about me, but I started realizing that my existence can only be better with the help and me helping others and having this sort of it takes a village basically,
Right. Was there resistance there? I mean, even though like you realized that and you figured it out, was there resistance in the beginning to let that happen, to let this woman come in and change you or guide you?
So the stuff that we all try to pull on our girlfriends, wives, and so on and so forth. I came home late one night, and she's like, "Where have you been?" This is really early in the relationship, very early in the relationship. And I was like, "Honey, you don't even want to start with me. I've had such a night." Now I was out doing wrong, right?
Right.
But I'm coming home trying to flip the script on her. And she looked at me and she was like, "Who the hell do you think you're talking to?"
Right.
Boom.
Right.
Epiphany. Like, get the hell out. And I'm like, I finally found the one. I finally found the one that won't take my. We can't curse on this thing, right?
Yeah.
We can't. Oh, damn. So she straight up was like, "Get your ass out. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? I ain't putting up with this bullshit." And I was like, I'm in love. I finally found, because I needed that challenge. Everybody else would sort of allow me to manipulate them through the process, and it was just to service myself. I really wasn't giving and loving and servicing others. At that point, it was just all about me. So that was the beginning.
Which is the process that I think every man at some point goes through, right? When it's not about me, and at some point when that switch changes, like it's bigger than just me. It's about, especially when you start having kids and you have a family.
Hopefully it happens when you start having children and realize that now you have to start living for them. Yeah. Which honestly, I didn't do initially.
Yeah.
I had 3 boys from a previous.
Yeah.
And I was, even though I was always there for them monetarily speaking, and I was at all their football games, and I would do all that. But when it came to really being a father, providing guidance to, I was on the road, I was doing this, and it was kind of about me.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. We talk about that because me and Carlos had this conversation this weekend about our fathers. I talked to my father on Father's Day, and I was like, I'm thankful for what you've done as a father. Like you've gotten me to the point. I learned a lot in a good way, and I also know there were times when you didn't do it the right way. Now that I'm older and I see that, it's crazy because he was 18 years old when he had me. There was no way he knew what he was doing.
He's a baby.
He had no idea. Like I'm 35, I'm still figuring it out. I'm like, at 18, you had a son. Like you're trying to groom up in this world to be a good person or whatever you're trying to groom them to be. Like how did you get to the point? How did you father? Like how did you learn how to be a father? He's like, well, I took part of what my dad told me, and I just used that. His dad was in the military, my grandfather, so he had those like stern, like military kind of beliefs, and so I had that. I took a lot of that as a kid, right? But also, he said as he progressed, he figured out like, okay, I got to kind of change with the times as well. So he was kind of flexible in his parenting skills, and so. I mean, I got some good stuff, but I got some bad. But I was really like, now that I'm older and I realize how hard it is, I was like, I'm so thankful for you. I'm so thankful for what you did, and I know you didn't do everything right, but you tried, and it's all that matters.
Well,
like,
you're
you
here.
feel that way?
Well, for one, you're here, right? And we're all sharing this space, and it's all energy, so we're all connected. The thing with my dad is that every time I talk, he's like, yo, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, okay, thanks, Dad. He was like, you're way ahead of me than where I was when I was 34, 35. I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, how you think, how you look at life. He said, I was not there. And it made me think, what are men thinking? At what age, that's why we asked earlier, at what age does it click? Because for me, I've always been a different kid since I was young. I was just scared to express it and be open about that. So I'll preface and say, I didn't really see a lot of both of my parents together. So there's a lot of memories that I don't have. There's parts of my childhood that I do not remember.
Right.
I don't know about my mom's childhood. I knew she was an amazing track runner. I don't know about my dad. Like I have to, it's like, Dad, what were you like? So then when you start asking those questions, and me and Kerry talked about it because he asked his mom and his dad, and you start coming full circle as to where you get this from, where you get that from, where you get this from. Like I don't know nursery rhymes. Twinkle to a little star, how, that's all I know.
Yeah.
I
get lyrics. I mean, my daughter gives me hell about that all the time. I would probably just make up. I know the melody, but the words. It's not good.
So I want to circle back to something, and you brought up a key point. It's two questions. When you said your woman challenged you, right? And what I will say is that that's something that men need. We need to be challenged and pushed. We need you to talk to different parts of us. Right. So I was having a conversation yesterday with Kerry. We were talking about how there's this thing going around like how men are babies or man up. Right, I think that's kind of dangerous when you say that to Nancy because that comes from a certain place. Yeah. So, as women, don't take on that role to be his mother. That's not your job. Be his woman.
Yeah.
Be his peace. Be his support. You calling him a baby doesn't help him. You taking on that role is a choice that you made to take on. He didn't ask you, especially as men get older. Let men heal on their own, and we will. But when you push. As a man, just makes us, we're going to go back into our shell.
If you call him a baby, him trying to prove himself a man, he might put himself in a danger.
And we get that enough outside of in TV and society and how men of color are viewed on TV. Yeah. And y'all are entertainment, y'all know more behind the scenes than me, but we get that so much. When we come home, our place of peace, we gotta hear that too. And that's not to say that men necessarily do everything right because we don't. No, we're men, right? We don't. But it's like sometimes, like, come on, like, just those things are not feeling like you're enough. Can you provide? I'm pretty sure at some point, can I provide for my family? Can I be an amazing father? Can I? A multitude of things, and then you start to doubt yourself, and self-doubt comes in. And sometimes, hey, babe, it's gonna be all right. Sometimes it's just that the little things women say they need. We need as well.
Yeah, as human beings, we sort of is a symbiotic relationship, right? And so. We're going to go through similar things. Women and men, we're different animals, yes. Right. But emotionally, spiritually, we all need nurture, right? My son, who's 31, I'm a grandfather. Oh man, I gave that up. So my grandson is 3 years old, and my son, from the age of 28, when he found the woman that he loved, I was so impressed because he loved this woman so much, and they were so well united, and they had a baby, and they got married, and I sang at that wedding.
See?
Sweet.
You killed it.
It's cute. And so I'm so proud of him because even though I didn't teach him everything correctly, he turned out, from my perspective, better than I did, considering his age. Because I didn't get to where he's at until I was probably like 36, maybe 38.
Right.
Maybe 45.
But we have a friend that says men aren't really ready until they're 40.
Really.
It's just women mature faster than men. They want to, emotionally, they want to be ahead of us in a lot of things, like especially when it comes to dating and knowing how to deal with the opposite sex. Especially they get hit on all the time. So
Right.
there's just an experience, where that happens, and for him at 28, that's amazing. But some people, they feel like I have to be here, and I'm like, says who? I talked to a guy like, who said you got to be here by 28, 29?
Now,
That's a
that's the
trap.
thing.
That's a
Because
trap,
people
by
think
the way.
they're missing something, but what are they missing? Like people think they're by committing to something or being like your son was at 28, committing to a woman, loving her, doing the whole deal. They feel like they're missing something. They're out in the world missing something that's really not there. It's really an image. It's stuff that you see on TV, on Instagram, that's putting out stuff that all these false images of what people look like happy, but they're not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's the misconception with everything. A lot of stuff that we do now, it's that. It's not set in reality. It's not reality based.
Right.
It's great.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And I feel blessed that my son, and I can sit back and take all the credit now and be like, yeah, I raised him right. But for different individuals, it's going to happen at different times. But seeking a higher existence and a higher knowledge and all that, that's really what it's all about. As long as you have the desire to do that, then you can move forward in a positive manner. If you're sort of set in a sort of antiquated way of thinking, like the man rules, and I'm the man of the house, and the woman is subservient, and I don't care if she makes more money than me, I'm still the man, and all that other stuff. Right. Yeah, that's just a trap for failure within the relationship itself. So, yeah, it's a whole different world than it was back in the day.
It's different. It's different. Yeah, I think people are speaking their truth. I think a lot more than not. Back in the past, people were just more okay with playing that role. Yeah. But now, that's not that way. Like, people are speaking up, men speaking up, women speaking up for the greater good of us as human beings now. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
What it is. We constantly separate. Yeah, man and woman, we're different sexes, but at the end of the day, we're all human beings, right? Like,
that's right.
And another thing, me and Kerry, we talk a lot, and we talked about women trying to be like men. Women trying to be better than men, and I'm like, no, be the best woman that you can, because the second you say, hey, I want to be a better man, you're still the man. You're still setting the barometer, the standard as the man.
Yeah, and that's an impossibility. I mean, you can't.
Right. There are things we're good at. There are things women are good at. Let your woman lead. If she's good at this, and take the reins. In certain business, there's some things where men are better equipped than that, but it's just balance. Sometimes certain companies, we need women to run things. There is a level of compassion and nurturing and love that this needs, and sometimes they need that caveman mentality to go after something. It's just balance.
And a good woman will let you know when it's the right time to be a caveman, and that's key.
Right.
Because I remember there was a situation where there was some paparazzi guy, and he was really antagonizing someone else, not my wife. And my wife brought it to my attention, and she's like, honey, you better go over there and handle this man, because he is being disrespectful to this woman, and you just do not do that. And I'm like, honey, and I'm like this, I'm taking off my jacket, I'm like, dude, please, man, don't make me do.
Talk with me, no.
And sure enough, he was like, oh, okay. But in that moment, he absolutely needed somebody to bitch slap him, really, because first of all, you don't disrespect a woman.
Right.
Secondly, within those parameters, he's trying to be as destructive as possible and trying to catch you on camera doing it.
Oh, really?
So then at that time, my wife was like, "You better get in there." Now she's done that to me a couple times, and in one instance, this boy was big.
You didn't want no problems.
This boy was big, and I'm like, "Good Lord, man, woo!"
You sure?
Right. Can
Let's talk about this one.
Right.
No, my wife is no joke. She'll jump right in the middle of a fight, try to break people up.
I'm very particular with that, because when I'm out, right, and I always keep an eye. I'm like, be free, go do your thing, go dance. I don't really trip on that, but I always know where my girl is. I know where she is. There's always eye contact, and I know, and I always give her the benefit of the doubt. Handle it yourself, because sometimes when you add in time, liquor, you stepping in can make it more of a thing. So I'll look at it and I'm like, okay, cool. How's it gonna handle it? If you keep getting going, then I'll go in. But hey, it's just sometimes you could come in there and be that macho man and feel like you need to save it. There's something you can come in and just delegate.
And look, you're smart. there's an appropriate time for that.
Yeah.
And you absolutely know when to cross that line.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we're seeking a higher existence, right?
Yes. Every day.
And by the way, for smart people that are looking for answers, I'm going to segue. This is going to go non sequitur on you, but that's the trap, and that's how people get caught up in cults, by the way. And a lot of these things have a facade of religion and so on and so forth. And then we, as we're thirsty for greater knowledge, and here's where it's genius. And a lot of people say, well, how do you get caught up in that? You know, like people, how do you get caught up in Scientology or Jehovah's Witnesses, or, you know, whatever it may be. And that is that you're seeking some higher intelligence, some higher knowledge, and then they'll have a trap where they will put something out there that will resonate with you, and that one thing will really kind of swoop you right in. You know, like for instance, I'll give you an example. This one particular religion that they use this tactic. They say, what is it? Is there anything in your life that bothers you on a constant basis every day? Is there one particular thing? And you're like, you start thinking, and then you can actually zero in on it. You say, yeah, that one thing is always nagging me, and it stops me from moving forward in life, and so on and so forth. You go, well, we can help you with that. Boom.
Gotcha.
As soon as you think that they could actually help you with that, you're hooked.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
So beware. Buyer beware.
I always say, always have a high amount, healthy level of skepticism to anything.
Absolutely.
Like ask, like if I say something to you, why? I think it's a perfectly awesome question to ask somebody. Somebody give me an opinion, why? I'll never forget it. This is years ago when I approached a woman, and I was like, "Hey, I would like to talk to you." I didn't say it like that. It's a terrible line, by the way. And she was like,
That was awful.
Yeah,
That was very bad.
I was like 20.
Like, how
man.
did you?
That's almost.
I don't know how to. Did she listen to you? Yeah, she did.
I'm sure.
No, but it's.
You know what they say? You know what they say, right? You can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
That's true.
So as soon as he bumps into the right
That's true.
person, he'd be like, hamna. She's like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby, you got me.
Oh yeah, I never heard that.
No, you had me at hello.
Yeah, exactly. You had me a hamna. You know. Oh Lord.
Thanks, Kerry. I love you.
I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
okay, all right. No, so you would approach women.
You approach women, and you said something about
I still lost my train of
you lost
thought.
it.
CTE.
See what I told
CTE.
I told you we moved from sometimers to most timers to
To
all
all
timers.
time. No, but it's funny though. To bring it back around to the married life and you finding the one, and you being pushed and taken to a place of higher respect for this person that's now in your life. Like, what are some of the things that, even though you guys have a great relationship, you have all these amazing moments, like, what are some of the things that you have you still have?
He set me up.
What's going on with that?
He set me up.
We just gave you a hint on this age.
Good Lord, I'm starting to sweat on this one. So in every healthy relationship, you have a certain amount of physical, attention that goes with the relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for those couples that were like, oh yeah, man, we do it every day, 3 times a day. I'm like, yeah, right. I mean, like, come on, let's get real. So when you've been with somebody 22 years, like Bernie Mac said, when you get to it, it's like a heavyweight fight. Somebody's gonna get knocked out in 3 minutes, right? I'm not saying that that's the situation, but we were talking about what's the most embarrassing situation within the relationship.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble getting to the point.
Can you get to the point?
All the way 100.
So
Every guy's been here.
So there's one particular night where I'm feeling a little frisky, and I'm like, baby, when I'm trying to do my thing. Oh yeah, I'm putting all my Puerto Rican.
Straight Puerto Rican on.
And my wife is like, no, please, I gotta head. I don't feel. I'm going to bed. So she goes to bed, and I'm feeling frisky, right? So I'm like, damn. So we do what we do.
What is that?
What's that?
We busted one out, all on our own. Okay, we don't need.
You sent some emails. That's because he called.
The Puerto Ricans call it Las Cinco Marias. Got Maria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left and the right. Anyway, so then I think my business is done. I'm like, okay, good. Okay, I don't have to. And then she comes walking in like, all right, you know what? I think I am. I am feeling it tonight. And I'm like, holy, what am I gonna do? I just finished, and I need at least 20 minutes, at least 20.
At least 20.
An hour, 20 minutes, maybe, So I'm tripping. I'm like, do I tell her? Oh, no, I'm gonna try my best. So I'm in there sweating up a storm, and she's like, what's wrong, baby?
Uh-oh, here we go.
So then finally, because then your woman feels like, well, are you not attracted to me? What is happening with you? Are you at that point in your life where it just ain't working?
Right.
I'm like, no, baby, it's not nothing like that at all. And I love you and I'm attracted to you, but I just finished busting one out in the room all by myself when you said no. Right? And so we were laughing about that, but I thought, how many men have run into that situation?
Right.
Everyone.
Right.
Every man at some point has, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Everybody has been through that at some point. Or
I thought it was just me. I thought it was just my dumbass luck.
Don't age yourself.
But
man.
that's because we don't talk to each other though.
Yeah, but it's at some point we all like, and that's just that man side of us. Like, look, everybody, you have sex with a girl, you gonna come quick. You all you have to. It happens.
I didn't say that happened.
But
anyway, go ahead.
He did not say that.
I said that's.
He put it up back there.
Look, let me tell you something.
Yo. That has happened.
Let me tell you something.
That's happened to me, man.
He tried to use you to piggyback that one up.
It has happened. It has happened.
Right?
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I think the great thing about that story, actually, besides the funny nature of it, is the fact that you wanted to lie to protect her feelings for a minute. Instead of actually saying the truth and saying how you really felt or what really happened, you're like, no, baby, I love you. I'm still here. I'm going to try to make this work. You almost killed yourself to try to please her. Instead of that was last night. No, I just heard that was last night again.
I told y'all the story last week.
Come on. But no, like instead of the good part about the story is you actually told her. If you didn't, imagine the self-doubt that would build in her head that you didn't love her anymore. All those things. So the fact that you communicated that was a big thing. And I think as men we got to do that. We're scared to hurt our partners, but you're gonna hurt them more by not telling the truth.
It's funny because I have a thing. If I'm, how people say, oh, the best sex is angry sex. Honestly, me, if I'm in an angry place, I don't like to have sex. If I don't,
well, angry make-up sex. Like, okay, let's get back. Yeah,
if I'm not in a good mood, I won't have sex. Like, if my mind's not there. There's some people who have sex, even if they don't want to please the other partner. Right. And I tell them, don't do that to me. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Now it becomes a job. Do it because it's just where you are in your space. Because the one thing about women, the minute they feel that you're not there spiritually or connected to them, sex will never be the same. So if I'm not there, my mind's elsewhere. No, I'm good, babe. I'd rather deal with that pretty short. You have moments. I hear a lot of men. I do it. It's my job. I gotta please. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting because I would never want my wife or whoever to do something they don't want to do because that grows resentment. If you start doing things you don't want to do.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that. I'm
not married, so I don't know.
I could be shot in the leg, and my wife comes in. I call 911. They'll be here any minute. What can I do for you? Can we just have a little sex real quick right before the paramedics get here?
Just in case I die.
Just in case.
It's the big one. Let's go pray and say for them.
But yes, communication is key. Yeah. Because if not, like you said, people will always interject the most negative things where there's a vacuum. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
They never go. Like if somebody doesn't call them, they never think, oh my God, maybe he's sick or something like that. They always go to the negative, and so it's important, for the transparency and to keep the communication lines open with your significant other. Otherwise, it's never gonna go. So
let's talk about that because intimacy, we're talking about relationships and being sexual intimacy. Like my idea of what intimacy is being able to be yourself unapologetically in front of the people that you love or your loved one, and you're not judged, and you're just comfortable being that person. A lot of times we attach intimacy to sex, and it's a physical thing. And we touched on this before. Like if you watch a group of football players on the field jump around and
slapping each other,
that's intimacy.
Yeah.
Us talking right now is intimate, right? Like a group of guys watching a football game is intimate. A group of girls sitting around each other, that's intimate. Let me see where am I going with this? Yeah, where I'm going with this is relationships, right? Like people, and you're married. Kerry was married before, and I've never been married, right? So we have three different perspectives sitting up here right now. Relationships, it's interesting to hear that people look at relationships or marriage as a trap, or don't do it. Or I had somebody say the other day that marriage isn't really good for men. It's not really good for men, right? So I was like, okay. Why is it that people look at relationships as a trap or you're stuck, when actually relationships should be your actual safe space?
Yeah.
That's a space where you should be able to be free and be yourself, because you can have intimate relationships outside of your relationship and then never leave the sex, because your safe space is here.
Yes. Yeah.
And when people, and that's my whole thing, whether it's marriage, and I don't get into the legal side of it, the institution of it, but when people start looking at automatically as traps, it always starts in
I think it's short-sighted for individuals that don't really think that men and women can have a good working relationship, and there's always going to be some sexual tension there. No, that's not necessarily the case at all.
Right.
We have mutual friends that are beautiful, but we have nothing attached at all. They're like a sister to us.
Like really, yes.
And if they came on to us, we'd be like, ew, come on, man, what are you doing, you know? So, but there's a lot of people that subscribe to that men and women can never be, friends. There's always going to be, some fooling around going on and things of that nature.
I think that's a maturity thing, because I'll be honest, early on at some point, I didn't have women friends that I didn't have sex with. Now I was cool with them. It wasn't
that is
anything,
a maturity thing.
It just, as I got on, I was like, cool, I can put people, I'm not saying a box, but I could, well, this is my friend, this is my sister, and I can keep it at that.
Yeah.
But I think the important thing for men is that when you're in a relationship, you have these, be honest and upfront and open with the person that you're with. If you're with somebody for a year and she's never heard about this girl, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a red flag. I don't care who you are, any woman, I never heard of it. If this was really your friend, why you didn't say this to me?
Right.
Because if it really was, let's go hang out. Let's go. You didn't hang out. You didn't invite her. You didn't do anything.
The thing about what you're saying right now, though, the thing is that they could be a friend for a year, but in the back of your mind, you see that female having a chance down the line to be with you at some point. So it's almost like, you're saving her for a rainy day type thing. Like, she's a friend. You've never had sex with her before, but you like, she has potential. And I think that's part of some guys' problem as well, with not telling their partners that. I think that's something that I've thought about in the past, and that's why.
Well, if you have an agenda,
exactly,
then that's a whole different cha-cha.
Absolutely.
But generally speaking, people should, as human beings and intelligent people, we should be able to interact and form friendships,
100%.
and has nothing to do with sex.
The best form of love is freedom. Allowing the other person, giving them the space to be whoever it is that they are. Because if you're trying to change somebody, you don't like them.
So based on this,
I want to hear this.
So my wife was doing Dance with the Stars, right?
Yeah.
And one particular night, we were like this, and this guy is taking pictures with my wife, and I'm like, who the hell is this?
Who is this handsome guy over here?
Yeah. Who is this?
It's tall.
And I'm like, damn, he's taller than me, he's in better shape, better looking, younger. Probably got more money. Damn, man, I got trouble. So,
and actually, that's what goes through men's head. If you don't, it goes through every man's head for a quick second. You might don't stay there, but that goes through her head. So think of being honest.
So then, Kerry and I become friends, and he shows me a photo. He's got a picture of him and my wife taking a picture, and me, and I'm in the background like.
He is sourpuss. He is sourpuss. I'm gonna show it to you later. He was in the background.
No idea.
And Angelo's in the background like this. I mean, scowling. I was like, look, I was like, Angelo,
But no,
what's
you
going on
know,
here?
but you
I
know,
the
it
back-
had
I know the
nothing
backstory.
to do with you.
Yes, I know the
It was
backstory.
just, it's life.
But you know what that is? That just shows how much you love your wife, because there's going to be a healthy bit of jealousy
Yeah.
when it comes to your partner. And
Of course.
there's the over the top jealousy, but yeah, you're going to feel a certain type of way.
Right.
Of course.
When
That is
another
human
guy,
nature.
right? Absolutely, because that just shows. Oh, I like it. If you didn't get 2 shits, red flag. Like it's because now it makes damn. You know what? I gotta step my stuff. Like and it's a healthy thing. But guys, I'm cool. I'm not mad. No, but it's okay to be open. That's the whole point of the show. To be open,
Yep.
vulnerable, and expressive.
Yeah.
If something bothers you, say it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might actually help you to
Right.
tell your girl that, hey, you know what? This bothers
It
me.
may bring you closer.
Right.
Again, we're going to interject the negative, right?
Right.
Because I'm thinking one thing and and it has nothing to do with the realities of what we're actually going through at that point.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
And if you ask the question and you get the real, then that's it. Everything. Now you know. You know. So
Do you believe that as men, we need to step up and say how we feel more in situations like that instead of trying to hold on to our machismo side and be tough?
Right, because I think we end up causing more
Of course, yeah.
situations by not being okay.
Yes.
So instead of one problem,
Yeah.
now we got 6.
yes.
Right.
Yes. And we live with this false armor. Like, okay, like take that night for instance.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a man. I should be able to knock one out and 2 seconds later do it again. And if I wanted to, I could. No, we are not machines.
We're not.
Okay, you need to rest.
Sounds good.
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Now, a woman can fake it all day long. A man cannot.
Oh no.
Okay.
Right. No.
That's
You
it.
can't. No.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's why. When a guy goes, yeah, she took advantage of me. Yeah, no, you had to be somewhat compliant with
Right.
that in order for it to work.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have
There's just no way
You have a little mechanism that has to
sort of
kind of
energize
a little
itself.
bit. I'm trying to think of an okay word.
And you can say no.
Right.
You can remove yourself from whatever situation that is. It's a choice.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully, you say no to all the right things.
Yeah. Let's see we have any questions.
Any
from-
questions,
from,
guys? Yeah.
From our people. They're just
We got
listening in,
any
listening
questions
in.
to LinkedIn? Guys, know nothing?
Women?
Any questions?
Women? Any
Women.
questions you
We'll
guys
give-
want?
we'll give
want
you
to-
insight.
They say
Hey.
we want a round 2 though. This is a great conversation.
They like it, right? They like this conversation. Yeah, I mean, it's natural. It's a real conversation. It's a real
Now,
conversation.
I'm gonna warn you guys about getting old as a man, though.
Yeah.
Hair starts growing in places that you're like, what the hell? Like, I have to schedule a haircut just for my ears.
So you know.
You know? I'm like, I don't need a haircut, but damn, those ears need a little trimming. You know? So that, like,
Well,
I mean, these are the things I'm like, I have no friggin' idea why this happened.
why is this happening to me?
So if they're okay, so we gonna find this age out
And,
again.
and you know when that time comes, when your wife is like, what the hell you got? Oh no, you just gotta pluck those suckers. You know, she thought maybe I had something stuck in the ear. She goes, oh no, honey,
no, you just
you need
got-
some waxing, baby.
If there were 3 things you would tell men to learn from what you've experienced, what would the 3 important things? What would they be?
From
Because
what?
we always try to lead
From what?
people from it's in this the maturation. Did I say that right? I don't know.
Yeah, maturation.
Of a man, like from because you're older than us, right? If there were 3 looking back now, what would you say to your younger self to prepare for? I mean, you've been here
Well,
8 years, man. So I mean, you got a lot.
8, yeah.
92.
162. Let's keep this straight.
3 things.
3 things.
That's on the spot. That's putting you on the spot.
That's-
but,
yeah,
but 3.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just 3 you can think of right now.
Well, the first thing is expectations. Okay. And our expectations are usually based on the fact that, oh yeah, we need some more liquor. Yeah, 'cause the more liquor, the looser you get, and then next thing you know, we're sharing stuff that
That's the juice.
we've never heard in our life.
That's it.
I don't know. He might have mixed our glasses. I don't know, but that's
It's all good. It's all good.
So our expectations based on what we learned, right? And we talked about living in a certain culture, and you have a certain mentality growing up.
Flip the camera. The camera, flip it. The camera slipped. On the bottom, see bottom right? The circle at the bottom. Boom. There we go. There you go.
It's moving there, but I don't know.
It's nothing. We're good. Go ahead.
So, we have a certain philosophy of life. Man is this and woman is that.
Right.
So growing up, you try to fit those things into your own personal puzzle, and it almost never works. So the expectations that you have based on on the life lessons that our parents gave us, sort of, it's almost like a barrier towards really moving towards evolving as individuals.
Right.
And so I would say to just be smart, ask questions,
Absolutely.
and listen, there's a couple of things that you always have to subscribe to personally. That is logic and being a human being. If you just implement those two things, you will not have that many problems. Be a good human being, use some logic behind that. The current state of affairs of our country now is this. It's my daughter. I would still do it, but it's
interesting thing because I didn't talk to Kerry about it, but it was just how, since we were kids, like a little boy's applauded the first time he had sex if he's at an early age.
He's what?
He's applauded. He's celebrated. That's my
Yeah.
son.
Yeah.
If a girl was to do, a female was to do the same at the same age, oh no, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to be that way. It's this constant.
That's a double standard. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, but when we look at that, we look at like as we get older, we look at because me and Kerry experienced something. We can't say something a few weeks back, and it was a little boy who didn't get what he wanted from an older woman. She's an adult.
Yeah.
He was maybe 6, 7. Yeah. He didn't get what he wanted, so he asked his dad, could you fire her? He's like, she doesn't work. He's like, no, could you fire her from the house? He was like, kick her out the house because he didn't get his necklace.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Do you know his dad told him, go smack her in the ass and take it from her, the necklace.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I literally sat here and watched this.
Yeah. No.
So
and I was like,
we should pull his dad card.
Pull his dad card,
That's it.
but imagine what he's creating though.
Absolutely.
right.
So that's the thing. It's not even about.
Do we want to say what we? I don't want to. We're not gonna say what we thought it was. So I jokingly said, "Oh, you teaching him while he's young, huh?" But I wasn't being serious. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm teaching." I was like, because
You were being facetious, and he thought that you were. He's such an idiot.
Absolutely.
That he thought that you were serious.
And I was like, "Are you
Right.
fucking kidding me?"
Right.
You told your 6-year-old son to go smack her on the ass and take the chain from her because she wouldn't give it. And I was like, because I was in a space.
Setting
And
such a
because
bad
I was in a
precedent.
space, if I was doing business with him in any type of way,
Cut.
I'd be like, it's done.
Wow.
But because I will never probably see this person ever again, I took my note, I observed, I saw who, and there were guys high-fiving him. And I was like, oh, this is not okay. When little boys are being taught,
Absolutely.
like, and I can say it was, do I want to say that? Yeah, I'll say it was a white man, and he's telling us, oh, it's your world, it's free, do what you want. When that starts at an early age, you're telling your kid, he did it, he went up and did it, and you could tell the woman turned around, she was like, looked at his dad, was like, are you kidding me? You told your 6-year-old, and I was like, holy shit, how many boys are going
Getting that
type of naturally and thinking it's okay, and everybody's applauding it. And I was like, I can't be around men now who outright disrespect.
No, we left.
Yeah.
Like it was like I was like, I should. I told my girl, she's like, I would have said something. I was like, I'll never see him again.
It's not. Yeah. It's
because it's too many. I don't know what he's attached to with my people. I'm good.
But let's face it. To your point, that is the single. That is the biggest problem with the world, and that is stupidity.
Yeah.
Because you can't speak to stupid. Because while you're trying to educate someone, they could possibly be so dense that they will be incapable of realizing that what he's doing is setting his son up for for jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, 100%.
That's
I mean-
to not say what we said, not what we thought.
Yeah.
That kid is going to absolutely, and it just goes on what you said. Like you can't tell a fool, you can't teach people that they're a fool.
Yeah.
You can't tell them.
You don't argue with a drunk or stupid person.
Right.
I mean, that's
Plus,
In the minute you
but
engage,
education is key. I mean, you know, the fact that you know, we strip so much funding from education so that we can make war and yeah, don't get me going because that's a whole nother conversation. Education is absolutely key, and that's the only way that we're going to be able to find salvation in this world. Period. That's the only thing that
We had a
that's
question
gonna-
for you.
a question?
And I guess we can end on this, and you can ask her. And somebody asked, were you supportive to Leah during the Scientology backlash?
Somebody went there for you.
Backlash. Are you kidding? Okay, so one of the ways that we started this whole thing was they showed up to our house and unannounced. And so she was like, get them out. And I was going to do that. But then Leah decided she was going to be nice. So she allowed 2 executives to come into our home. And during the discussion, this is where it really got going. During the discussion, they did not agree. And one of the guys called my wife a bitch.
Whoa.
All right?
Really?
Yeah. So I had him up against the wall. I was strangling him. And then I threw him out of the house. And so they knew. They're like, they're like,
Fresh Prince style. Fresh Prince.
so they probably figured, holy shit, there's only so much pushing we could do. Now, go ahead. Listen, I've never been arrested for anything. I will take one for the team. And so I'm like, yes, you guys bring it. If I see you trying to harass my wife in any way,
Right.
I'll go to jail.
Right.
And so that's okay with me.
Right.
So in terms of, yes, she knows. She knows that. They know that.
Yeah.
Don't make the Puerto Rican come out in me.
Don't make it come out.
And
They don't sell one. What's up?
yeah. So
we didn't touch on that about everything going on in Puerto Rico. Maybe another time.
Oh.
When we have you come back.
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
but my wife is. I mean, she's God sent. She's really helping a lot of
individuals,
avoid this plight. So
Nice.
I applaud.
Women soften us, man. Women make us more compassionate. The right woman.
Yeah.
The right woman talks to you in a very different way. The right woman
Right.
challenges you in a very different way. As a man, when you meet the right woman, she doesn't have to tell you anything. You just do it because you want to do right by her.
Right.
And what's right for yourself is right by the situation and right by her. It's not work. You're just being naturally just being yourself. And if it becomes this fight and this tussle between it's always going to be. Kerry, everybody has shit. Everybody.
Yeah.
I can deal with her shit.
Yes.
So I think
Yes.
we ended on you being how supportive you were for.
And I think that's perfect. He actually is perfect. How do you know that that's the right person?
Yeah.
When all the annoyance that she provides, you love.
Yeah.
That's when you know. When you can deal with her annoying you for the rest of your life,
Right.
then you know.
And maybe that's a good one. Maybe next week we talk about support. What that looks like, and how do we know if it's the one? How do we know? What factors do we use on our own, or do we let society tell us? So,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was trying to wrap it up like 20 minutes ago. We gonna go.
I can't believe that.
Go back on live just to say bye to everybody really fast.
Yeah, you can press it again. Oh, let me see.
You guys, I can't believe an hour passed by.
Quick, right? Just press share. And then just go back to it. In the corner, left corner. Nope, not there. My picture. My picture. Nope. Well, get out of there. Get out of there.
Put that in the camera, you can go down and just swipe all the way over to live.
No.
Hit that. Yeah, hit that.
No, you pressing the camera, not the
No,
camera.
not the camera.
My picture.
Oh, yeah, there you
And
go.
then go press it again. Press my picture again. Now.
There you
Start.
go.
my name
Can't do that.
You're on live now, kid.
Hey, we're back. It cut off. The conversation was getting really good, so we couldn't stop it, but it's over. Glad you guys tuned in. Me, Carlos, come on here, Carlos, get in the frame.
Los.
It cut off on us, but great show. Angelo, I guess, appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You made the show today, so. Go. Huh?
Oh, to follow this amazing guy, the
Yeah.
real Angelo Pagan.
Follow him.
Yeah, we're going to actually do a video. We're going to add him again so everybody can follow this guy, amazing guy. If you're in LA,
Yeah.
go to Vivian's on
Viviana.
on Ventura,
That's
in Studio
Spanish.
City.
And also, we will be giving Kerry some Spanish lessons. He will be singing for
Every
us.
Wednesday, Sofitel. It's a new spot. Sofitel Salsa Night every Wednesday.
If you want to hear Kerry sing,
If you want to hear
come
me
and
blow, come down.
If you want to see me mess up and step on women's feet all night,
Kill
come see
it.
me. Come check us out.
There it is.
Thanks for everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Cheers.
Thanks for giving your
Appreciate
time
you
to
guys.
us today. And we're back next Monday.
Yes, sir.
Do we know what we're talking about?
Not yet. We'll
Not
figure it
yet.
out. We'll figure it out.
Then we're going to
Doing
piggyback
it
how we
over
eat
there.
it. So thanks again, guys. See you next week. Holler! Peace. Hold on.
I mean, somebody please cut it off.
No, Nick, no.
Give me a little bit. Hey, now she knows the words.
No, that's not
You
it.
gotta give him a little something.
Cool. Woo! That was good.
That was smooth.
Yeah.
I blanked out doing the whole thing, so hopefully.
Oh, you never know.